At the NCPA this week, there's been a heavy focus on our nation's capital. NCPA Legislative Director Brian Williams was outside the U.S. Supreme Court for the opening arguments in the King versus Burwell case.
That's the case that will decide whether Obamacare subsidies, taxpayer subsidies, can flow to states that never set up a state-based health exchange. A provision specifically laid out in the Obamacare law states that states must set up a state-based health exchange in order to receive those subsidies. Now, there's about 36 states that never did set up a state-based health exchange. So the federal government, the Obama administration, circumvented the law and set up a federal exchange in those states and allowed those taxpayer subsidies to flow to those states, even though the state technically never did set up a state exchange. So the question before the Supreme Court today is whether those states that do not have state-based health exchanges can receive the taxpayer subsidies. Congress, in the meantime, is trying to figure out how to respond, because if the Supreme Court decides to rule in favor of the plaintiff, it will cut off taxpayer subsidies to as many as 5 or 6 million people currently receiving taxpayer subsidies for their health insurance. Those subsidies will be cut off, and those 5 or 6 million people will suddenly be exposed to the full cost of their health insurance. Meanwhile, Congress is trying to figure out what to do to respond to that, whether they should continue the stream of subsidies or whether they should just allow the states to be free from all of the regulations of Obamacare and set up their own healthcare systems. And there are a variety of other solutions out there as well. So stay tuned for that.
Allen West was interviewed on Second Amendment arguments by Fox News Channel.
If we're going to do something that affects the Second Amendment, it should be done through our elected representatives. It should be brought up in the House or the Senate, and it should be voted upon. And any type of amendment or changes should be done there. It should be a debate.
Senior fellow John R. Graham authored this week's study on the productivity crisis in drug research and development, calling on Congress to address the regulatory burdens that are slowing the development and raising costs on new pharmaceuticals. Senior fellow Pamela Villarreal's newly published study warns that proposed capital gains tax hikes will hurt earners at all levels.
It's easier to pass a capital gains tax increase than an ordinary income tax increase. Why? Because people are often under the impression that capital gains taxes are only a problem of the wealthiest, and of course we're always told that the rich should pay more. But it's not that simple. Capital gains tax is applied to any asset, whether it be a stock purchase, real estate, or an investment into starting up a business. Capital is what makes the economy grow and helps create jobs. If the cost of a capital investment increases through higher taxes, people will provide less of it. This has a detrimental effect on middle-class workers who want to start their own business and need financial help to do so.
And March 8th is the last day to get early registration discounts for the April 3rd luncheon event with journalist Glenn Greenwald. A warm thank you from all of us at America's Think Tank. We appreciate your support of our important work.